Pickup Lines is presented by Gamez Law Firm. Personal injury guidance for more than 50 years. Gamez Law fights. By Integrity Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years, serving the San Antonio area for roofing, siding, and renovation needs. And by the Sabinal Group. For nearly 20 years, serving the San Antonio region through professional minority general contracting services. Pickup Lines is broadcast from inside the all-electric Lexus RZ450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus at Dominion and North Park Lexus of San Antonio.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome into another episode of Pickup Lines, the talk show in a Lexus. And I don't like to compare guests because they're all special in my eyes, but this one is going to hit a little different today because we have a legend in the car. And if you were to have a Mount Rushmore of broadcasting greatness in San Antonio, my vote is for Sonny Melendrez to be on.
You're very kind.
Welcome in,
I'm
sir.
Also a ventriloquist. Just so you'll know.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you do voices and you do many other things. And not many people can say they have a community center named after them. We're literally in the parking lot of this is the Sonny Melendrez Community Center.
Yeah.
On the west side of town. And if it wasn't such a gloomy day, you'd probably see it better in the back there. But that's got to be cool to have a community center named after you.
Oh, my goodness. It's an honor. I know I spend as much time as I can here. And, you know, one of the great joys of having the center in the middle of the west side, we're in the middle of Monterey Park. Monterey Park is about 40, 50 acres. And literally anything and everything that you can do outdoors or indoors can be done here. Basketball, badminton, volleyball. In fact, the other night, we had 2 girls volleyball teams, and they were part of the network of all these breakdowns.
Right.
And they ended up being the top 2. So it was Melendrez versus Melendrez.
I see. Okay, very good.
But there's soccer here. There's football. We just got a new pickleball court, tennis courts, football. We also have a swimming pool. I mean, it's just wonderful. And like I say, it's an oasis in the middle of the west side, so kids can come here and be safe. And they can do that, after school, and it's open till 9 o'clock. So
that was a nod, I guess, years ago when this opened or was named after you, because for all the work that you did with young people and with the Parks and Rec Association. Is that what that was?
Exactly. And I always say, because that was a good 30 years ago, I always say that my role is to connect the haves with the have-nots.
Right.
In fact, next week, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing our annual toy giveaway. We have people that give us toys to give to these kids. But the great thing about social media now,
yes,
Ernie, is that I can go back to this to show via video or sometimes even live.
Right.
This is where your toy went, and this is the smile that it caused.
That's fantastic stuff. I'm resisting the temptation to just close my eyes and go back to, and please, with respect, I don't mean this to say that you've been around for a while, obviously, but I'm having flashbacks to listen. Your voice sounds as pristine and as great as I remember it when I was slightly younger than I am now.
You're very kind. Would you like me to go into my radio thing here? I'm on the air here. Did you listen to Magic 105 or KTFM?
Well, I mean, both. I will tell you, I grew up in Victoria, so I didn't get to listen every day. But that just goes to show I knew who you were growing up in Victoria.
Isn't that something?
I knew exactly who you were.
Wow. And you were in 3rd grade?
Well, I was a young lad.
Yeah.
But finding a microphone or talking into a cassette tape, trying to do my own talk show and those kinds of things.
Sure.
Do you do, or have you had to do anything specific over the years to, quite literally, I mean, take care of your voice?
No. And it's funny because one of the things I learned to do is to learn to breathe. Now that I'm a speaker, especially, you're on stage, you're talking for an hour, and you're able to use your voice to your benefit.
Yeah.
Back when I started out in radio, everybody wanted to have a radio voice. And so one of the traps that I fell into, and a lot of young broadcasters do, is they emulate or try to be somebody that they're not.
Right.
And have just kind of this radio voice. But once you realize that you can use your voice.
Yes.
Same thing with the name. Back then, people would actually change their names to be more memorable. And I was really lucky that I was able to use my real name.
So Sonny Melendrez is your given birth name.
No, my given birth name is Joseph Melendrez, but I'm a junior.
Okay.
And Hispanic families, if you're a junior, they usually call you Sonny.
Okay.
Sonny boy.
I'm a junior.
Yeah, S-O-N-N-Y. And
love
so
it.
and so when I got my first job, I was working. I was going to work weekends at the radio station in El Paso. I was going to UTEP at the time.
Because you grew up, just not to interrupt, but you were born in New Mexico, correct?
I was born in Silver City, New Mexico.
Right.
We moved here when I was 5.
Okay.
And my dad went to Barber College here.
Yes.
And so, in fact, when we moved here, he had a little 2-seat barber shop at the corner of Nolan and Pine, what's now known as Dignowity Hill.
Okay.
And it was not a full address, it was half of an address in this little sliver in this.
You blink and you miss it.
Yeah, exactly. One half was a print shop. In fact, the address was 908 and a half Nolan Street. Let me just show you.
Just in case you think the man is kidding, he
I'm
came
not.
prepared.
Yeah, I did come prepared.
Of course you did.
So here's the barber shop.
Look at that.
Right up here is this is down here.
Right.
It's 908 and a half Nolan Street. There's my dad with yours truly. I think I was about 10 or 11 there.
Oh my gosh.
But my dad moved us in there so that he could fulfill a promise that he made to my mother that my brother and I would go to Catholic school.
Right, so you went to Central Catholic.
I did go to Central Catholic.
Which even back then still cost money.
Oh my goodness.
And your parents had to quite literally, you had to move into the barbershop.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad, I mean, I learned a great deal from my dad as far as being an entrepreneur. He would always, I was talking to my brother the other day, and we realized that we were poor, but we didn't know it.
You didn't know it.
Because we always were provided. We ate. I remember on Saturday mornings there was a store called Cha's Grocery Store.
Yes.
On Pine Street, close to 35. In fact, I think it's still there. And they would have hot dogs for a nickel as a promotion. And my dad would give me $1, and I'd ride my bicycle and come back with 20 hot dogs.
20 hot dogs.
And that would be lunch and dinner for our family.
For a little while.
And
I mean,
and we were, we didn't care.
Didn't know any better.
We never ever complained about anything because we always had what we needed, even using our imagination
Right.
to do things that other kids did that we weren't able to. I remember I went to a classmate's house. I think I was in Cub Scouts. And he had, in his backyard, he had a sandbox.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is what they have at parks. This guy
Right.
has his own sandbox.
Right.
So I went back home, and I told my brother, who was actually 3 or 4 years old, I said, we're going to make a sandbox. And he said, what are we going to do, Sonny? I said, come on over here. It's like the Little Rascals, right?
Yeah.
And so I get this old screen door, pour dirt on it, and shake it, and pretty much got all this fine dirt, and then made a little square
Right.
with some wood.
Because you couldn't afford to get a truckload of sand
so
or anything.
we had a dirt box, but it was sand.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You do back then. You did what you had to do.
Exactly.
And I mean, I played with sticks and twigs and mud. I mean,
Yeah.
not that we were without by any means, but
No.
just pre-internet, pre-social media.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. If we were at an advantage not to have all of this.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, it's been great. Don't get me wrong, but it's also, I do wish at times for that time.
I understand.
Yeah. So when you were at Central Catholic, by that time, had you already known that the microphone was your friend and you were?
Oh yeah.
That's what you were going to do.
Because when we lived in the back of the barbershop, I didn't want to wait to grow up to actually have a radio show. So I had a little recorder and a record player, and I would play these records and record and talk just like they did on KTSA and KONO. And then my dad at night, he felt bad because we didn't have a phone. Our phone was the pay phone in the barbershop.
Right.
He would give me 3 dimes, Ernie, and I'd go in the barbershop in the dark, sit up on the shoe shine stand chair next to the payphone on the wall, and call one friend at a time and play my little Productions.
Get out of
Yeah.
here.
I invented podcasting.
Yes, you have. The father of podcasting.
There you go, right
Sonny,
there.
Sonny
Yeah.
Melendrez, which doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me, by the way, at all. I would totally believe that because that's what we did back then. You know, whether it was.
And you were telling me that you did the same thing. You pretended like you were doing a talk show.
Well, I've always been a game show fan as well, so I wanted to be a game show host and a sportscaster as well. But yeah, you do talk shows, and I grew up watching Johnny Carson and Letterman, back in the day,
Right.
and those kinds of things. And I've always loved the long form interview format, and
Right.
talk shows and those kinds of things.
Well,
but
you
at
do
any
it
rate-
well.
Well, I appreciate it. I do love to talk, that's for sure, especially to people like you. The great Sonny Melendrez joining us here for just a little bit. It is remarkable, and you probably could have retired a while back, and maybe not been on the golf course today, but you could. But you've chosen. Are you as busy now as you've ever been?
More. I read something recently that said that the Japanese don't have a word for retire.
Right.
Retirement is not in their vocabulary.
Not in their language.
And I feel the same way. I mean,
Right.
why would you stop doing what you love, especially now that we're able to do it on so many different levels, so many different stages, as you have done. And isn't it, I also heard you, I think you were telling our good friend Louis Barrios this.
Yes.
About the fact that you used to plan your next 5 years and look ahead, etc.
Yeah, I stopped predicting the future.
Yeah, now just put it in God's hands and just enjoy life. Enjoy this moment.
It's like I've told people, Sonny, if you'd have told me 2 years ago that this is how I'd be paying my mortgage and stuff, doing this kind of, I'd have laughed in your face. But here we are. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
does.
And it allows me to talk. I was telling Sonny, all the years that I've been on the air and the years that you've been on the air, this is literally the first time we've ever met.
Isn't that something?
Which is...
And
I'm
in San
embarrassed by
Antonio, that says a lot.
That does say a lot.
Everybody knows everybody.
I've been doing it wrong all this time, but it is amazing. And you can go back and people who are my age and your age obviously remember those days of radio and back then. It's certainly a different time now, and I wonder how often you think about kind of the state of radio as it is right now and what could have been and what is right now.
It's not so much the state of radio, it's the state of what radio has become, not just on the airwaves, but think about it. What we're doing right now is a form of radio.
Correct.
There will be people who will listen to this and maybe not see it, but at the same time, the fact that you have podcasts, you have all these things that are vying for your attention and your ear attention. And so consequently, that's radio. And so, back then it was just radio stations, AM or FM, and that's it. But now you have all these other ways to communicate, and it's on demand.
There's that, but there's the variety. I mean, just about anybody can set up and do their, and many have tried,
and everybody does.
But for better or for worse, nonetheless. Okay, well, it would take us another hour to go through all of the accolades and everything. You are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I'm included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as one of the top 100 personalities of all time. They actually have an exhibit there.
Yeah.
Originally it was called dedicated to the one I love. In fact, if you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and
in Cleveland, right?
In Cleveland, Ohio, yes. If you go there, they actually have recordings. You'll see, my name, etc., and then you'll put on a headphone, and you'll actually hear. I think it's a clip from my radio show in Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah. So
because I know you have a photo as well. You dabbled in was it American Top 40?
Well, here's what happened. When I first got my first programming job at KTSA, in fact, there was a station that was under my pillow that I said I'm going to be on that radio station when I was like 11 years old. We used to play on Sundays, in the weekends, we'd play American Top 40. And Casey had that great voice. Hi, this is Casey Kasem. Count down the hits in all the land on American Top 40.
Oh, my gosh. Real quick, I got a fun fact for you.
Okay.
Fun fact. When I was in high school, a girl that I was dating at the time, who shall remain nameless, unbeknownst to me, sent in a letter to Casey Kasem.
Oh, wow, the long-distance dedication.
I was the subject of a Casey Kasem long-distance requested dedication.
Well, when I got to Los Angeles, the first person I wanted to meet was Casey Kasem. And everybody told me I wouldn't be able to get through to him or anything. Not only did I get through to him, but he listened to my show on KMPC, the station I was on in L.A.
Right.
And we got to be good friends. And then one day, Ernie, he calls me because I would always think to myself, what must it be like to be behind that iconic microphone and broadcast to 500 stations around the world, playing the top music in the world and telling these great stories? I think this guy's got the ultimate job.
It's amazing.
And so one day he called me and said that he was going on vacation. He says, hey, Sonny, I'm going on vacation. I was wondering if you would sit in for me on American Top 40.
In his voice.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
and I said, well, let me check. Yeah,
yes,
sure, yes. So 2 weeks later, I went on the air and I sat behind that iconic microphone.
I love how you brought the pictures. Look at that.
American Top 40.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
And how great is it now that if you have Sirius XM satellite radio, if not every weekend, most weekends, they replay the KCK on the 70s channel.
And when they play the show that I did, people will always call me. I heard you on XM radio. I heard it's great.
So what year was that?
That was 1976. In fact, if you Google Sonny Melendrez AT40, you can actually hear my first set as I introduced the first song on that show.
I will do it in just a little bit. Do you remember what the first song was?
Yes, I'm going to Let My Heart Do the Walking by the Springs.
Of course he remembers. Oh gosh, there's just so many moments for you like that where you get phone calls. I know you've done voices in movies, and you were in Rocky 2, I think, right? And those calls come. I think I read in the Express News you still get residual checks from Sylvester Stallone, right? Which is crazy to me. I do.
I tell my wife, hey, Sly's paying for dinner tonight.
Exactly. Thank you. Rocky's buying dinner again tonight. That must be great. And I would think you probably still to this day, every once in a while or whenever it happens, you get calls to do some interesting things and unexpected experiences.
Voiceovers, people always say they want to get into the voiceover business, and I explain to them what it used to be like. It used to be, if you wanted to be serious about being in the voiceover business, you had to either be in like New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles.
Right.
And your agent would call you and say, well, okay, we got a Mattel commercial, and they want somebody warm and friendly. So you'd go to the agent's office, and you'd sit there and watch, and you'd see all these other guys that were there for the same thing.
Auditioning.
And one at a time, we'd go inside, and he would record us, and then he would take that tape, and it would be sent to the producer, who would then pick a voice and say, we want this guy. Then your agent would call you and say, 10 o'clock Monday morning, here's the studio you have to be at. And you'd go and do the job.
Oh, my gosh.
Or you wouldn't hear from anybody, and you'd see the commercial on TV and realize, I could have done that, but it wasn't me.
Wasn't you.
But now, everything is done like that via the web. And a producer can literally put out a call, you get an email, you get a script, you record it, you send it, and they can book somebody like within 30 minutes. And here's the crazy part. Once you do the spot, they can pay you instantly.
Digitally, exactly.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to talk more after this is over here. I need to figure out I'm doing it all wrong.
All of a sudden, whatever happened to that pickup line show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People are chiming in and saying some very nice things. People young and less young, say, who have been listening to you all these years. All the celebrities and the hundreds of interviews and experiences and speeches and things you've given. I don't know, have you ever been starstruck? Or is there one or two iconic moments for you that you've said to yourself, I cannot believe? I know you have a photo of one probably in your folder.
I do.
When you went to the Vatican.
I do.
That's got to be on that list.
Well, here's what happened there. And again, life, the great thing about having great expectations is that when you have something happen to you, I think you bring it to yourself. There's nothing happens by accident. The name of my next book is "What's the Best That Can Happen," and it means that You wake up in the morning and you say, okay, let's see what happens today. You've got the things that you're going to do
Right.
and all the other things that are part of your life. But all of a sudden, people cross your path. Things happen. And one morning, I was on KTFM.
Yes.
And I was on my way to the station. I was doing my research for the show. And I saw an article, because it was the year that the Pope was coming to San Antonio. And I saw an article from a Seattle newspaper saying that these children were writing letters to the Pope so that when he got there, he could address what was on their minds.
Right.
And I thought to myself, wow, that'd be a great idea for the children of San Antonio to do that.
Yes.
You know? And so that evening, then that afternoon, I went to St. Francis Academy. I spoke, did a motivational presentation.
Yes.
And the nun who had invited me, Sister Joe, she walks me to my car and she says, you know, Sonny, if you're ever in the Vatican, our order of nuns takes care of the Pope. So, maybe we could arrange for you to see the Pope. And I'm thinking, I'm going to Rome.
Yeah.
I've got the hookup. Oh my goodness. So
How awesome is
that
that?
evening, this is how God works. That evening, I go to the grand opening of a travel agency and I meet the promotions director, national promotions director for TWA.
TWA.
Transworld Airlines.
Yes. Old airline. Yes. Back in the day.
Exactly. And we're talking, and he says, listen, if you ever come up with anything, we're trying to promote a new flight from New York to Rome.
No way.
And I'm thinking, oh, do I have something? So I go to our program director, who is Bill Thorman,
Yes.
told him about it. He says, great, let's do it. And off we went to Rome to deliver. That's what this picture is.
Look at this.
With the Pope at the Vatican.
Here,
And
let me show, because I know there's a little glare there.
Yes.
See, at first when I saw this, I thought this was here in San Antonio.
No.
Note the tape recorder, by the way. I'm seeing
Yes.
that right there at the bottom of the picture.
There's a recorder there, and then below that are all these letters that I had, and I'm telling the Pope about what this is all about.
Pope John Paul II,
Yes,
of
exactly.
course, obviously.
Now, here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy part. Everybody with me, you kiss his ring.
Yes.
I was so busy telling him what this was all about that that was it, and I didn't kiss his ring. So now he comes to San Antonio. I'm the MC at the Guadalupe Center.
Yes.
5,000 people waiting for him all day. Finally, he comes, and he walks through the crowd. They're all cheering. We're behind the ropes. And he walks up to me, and he hugs me. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh. And people are all thinking, well, he knows Sonny.
Right.
Because they had seen the TV coverage.
Right.
But then he goes next to me, and Elizabeth Ruiz was there.
Love her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Great.
And he hugs her, and as he hugs her, I see his ring. So I reach over.
You gave him a little
and kiss
smooch.
the ring. So God gave me another chance.
How great is that?
Yeah.
That is a fantastic story. A few more minutes here with just Sonny Melendrez. This is just something I wish we could have done this so much sooner, but I'm glad we're doing it today. The website is sonnymelendrez.com, by the way. If anybody, you do TED Talks and speeches, and I just wanted to read this real quick. You say, it's on your website, you talk about intentional enthusiasm a lot.
Yes.
You talk about enthusiasm a lot in your presentations.
Right.
What does that mean to you?
Okay, well, that is the secret sauce.
Okay.
People ask me, how can you be so happy all the time? And
Right.
believe me, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay? But the thing is, when you have that intentional enthusiasm, people think that the only way to be enthusiastic is to be excited about something. And unless it happens to you, they're not going to be excited.
Right.
That's not true. You can be excited about anything, about the rain, about this car, about a new friendship.
Yes.
Anything. And when you get excited about it and you are intentional with that enthusiasm for it, enthusiasm, entheos, from the Greek in spirit, the spirit within, now you're able to let that out, and it has an incredible power. And the three pillars are belief in yourself, have a clear vision, number 2, of what it is you want to accomplish, and the big fuel for everything in life is gratitude. So belief, vision, and gratitude make up what is intentional enthusiasm.
I can get with that.
Good.
I approve this message. I like it. I like it. Is there anything? I mean, you've done so much stuff, and I mean, the resume, the trophy case, everything speaks for itself. Is there anything else? Like, if you do you have a bucket list or anything else? A place you'd like to visit? Is something you'd like to accomplish still?
Well, I do have one, and it's something that I think is becoming more and more a possibility, and that is to broadcast from space.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to put it past you.
I want to deliver a message from the vantage point of the vastness of space.
Okay.
And to realize in the moment, and it's not something that I'm going to write and deliver. It's something that in the moment I know will come to me, because there's just so much to be grateful for. There's
Right.
so much to be in awe of. Every day is a miracle. Every moment is a miracle.
Yeah, I would think when you get up that high, you gotta throw away whatever speech you had, because I can only imagine what that must be like and look like. I mean, you see the pictures and the video clips and everything, but
Yeah.
well, if Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or
right.
somebody's this sees them, we can go down to Boca Chica or wherever and put you in one of those rockets.
And you're going to be with me, Ernie.
I'll record it. I'll film it.
Exactly.
I would
Yeah,
love.
you got it.
That would be awesome. And again, I could see you do. And who better? Who better to do something like that
you're kind. You're very kind.
than Sonny Melendrez? That is so great. What else? What do you do for fun? What do you do? Or is this what you do for fun?
Everything is what I do for fun.
Yeah.
And every day is so different. My family, my wife Linda and I are blessed to have 2 boys. They both live in Los Angeles. One of them is a Catholic hip hop artist. His name is Joe Melendrez. If you go to joemelendrez.com, you'll see what he
Catholic hip hop.
Yep.
Okay.
He goes all over the world and gets these kids excited about not only Catholicism, but
Yeah.
also about giving back to each other and living a Christian life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then our other son Bono is a photographer, and he does all the lighting for all these
Okay.
Nike shoots, and he travels all over the place. Yeah.
Super. I guess one of the final things I wanted to say, just speaking of Catholicism and everything, getting back to Central Catholic,
Yes.
I am constantly amazed by the number of quality people that school has produced over the
Yeah.
years. Household names, people who have gone on to great things here and beyond. Because I was reminded recently that you went to Central Catholic, and I was like, well, of course he did. I mean, but the brotherhood, they
Yes.
talk about
Yeah.
the brotherhood there at Central Catholic, and still
Exactly.
strong.
It is. Central Catholic is 100 and I think 50 years old.
been around for a while.
Around. In fact, Central Catholic, what's now the La Mansión del Rio,
Yes.
that used to be St. Mary's University and Central Catholic.
Yeah.
And then when they moved to Culebra, the campus did, Central Catholic moved down the street
Yeah.
on St. Mary's.
Right.
But I believe that what Central Catholic did for me
Yeah.
was unbelievable. It was like an experience that every young man should have. In fact, when it was time for our oldest son Joe to go to high school, he wanted to go to another school.
Right.
And he says, yeah, Central Catholic, it's just an old school, the old building. And my wife, she's from St. Louis, they both thought that I wanted him to go there just because I went there.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, you don't understand. You don't understand. We were able to send Joe there. So finally I said...
Don't have to live in a barber shop
Yeah,
to do it either.
I said, okay, look, I want you to just do me a favor. Go to this other school
Right.
for a day and go to Central Catholic for a day.
Okay.
And if you still want to go to that school, you can go there. So he goes and he comes back and says, Dad, over here I saw lost souls. And at Central, all I saw was myself.
There you have it.
And he ended up...
What a great testimony.
Yeah,
That's
and
fantastic
he
stuff.
graduated with honors, 40 years to the date, and I gave the commencement address.
Wow, what a great full circle moment.
Fought back the tears.
No kidding. Gosh, dog. Well, again, just a great moment in an unbelievable career, which is nowhere near being done because
thank you.
now we got to get him to space
Thank you.
to deliver remarks.
Now, I will tell you also,
All right.
the big part of this whole launching into this wonderful entertainment career was San Antonio College.
We can't leave out,
No.
because you spent some time there as well.
Did I?
You
Yes.
were behind the microphone there as well.
Jean Longwith, who now has a building named after her,
Yep.
she was my first teacher, and we were her first class, and I was her first program director.
They still have the radio station over
They
there,
do.
right?
It was KSYM back
Yeah,
then. It was
yeah.
WSAC.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, San Antonio College, and San Antonio College 2 years ago was named the #1 community college in America by the Aspen Prize. They won the Aspen
cool.
Prize, and now this coming year, San Antonio College will be 100 years old.
Yeah. Well, you have a photo, right? Do you have the picture of you?
I've got the picture of me at San Antonio
this
College.
is-
There I am.
Slightly younger, Sonny
Yeah.
Melendrez. Well, listen. If you could speak to this guy right now,
Yeah.
what would you tell this kid?
Oh, I would tell him, just enjoy your life and just, continue. My mother gave me this wonderful joie de vivre, this joy of life.
Yeah.
And that's what the gift that she gave me.
I love it.
And I really have tried to live that way each day.
Well, you've done well. That is for sure.
you.
And we're going to have to do another episode at some point because we didn't even get to everything today. And that's fine with me if we have to do a follow-up at some point. But it is really an honor to meet you and finally visit with you. I'm ashamed that we hadn't crossed paths sooner, but have been a fan for a long time and will continue to be.
Well, thank you, Ernie. And let me tell you that you've really done something wonderful here.
Thank you.
You know, I've watched so many of your videos of your guests, and you have this wonderful knack for bringing out the best in everyone.
Oh.
And I congratulate you on not looking back. You know, you got a rearview mirror here,
Yep.
but that's not how you're looking at your life. You're looking out the big windshield here, and who knows what comes next. And you've certainly, done something that's brought so much joy to so many people who are watching now and will continue to watch.
And coming from this man, that just hits a lot different than it would from somebody else. That really means a lot. Thank you
pleasure.
so much.
You're
The
a
great
good man.
Sonny Melendrez, SonnyMelendrez.com. Let's not wait another 40 plus years to connect again here.
And I would like to officially invite you to be on my radio show /podcast.
Done.
How's that?
You tell me the
Okay?
time and date, I will be
Now,
there.
We won't be in a car.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. You tell me. I'll do.
All right,
I'll
you got it.
do the show
Yeah,
anywhere you want.
We're going to be on this format. It's called Zoom. You heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
It's an honor.
Thank
There
you.
you have it. Pickup lines. This one will be tough to top, but I will try again very soon. SonnyMelendrez.com if you'd like more information about everything this man has done and continues to do. And as soon as he gets to space, we'll have another update for you
Yeah.
and let you know.
And Ernie Zuniga's going with
And
me.
I will be there with you. Very good. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
I will be back again very soon. Be safe. Happy holidays to you and your family. Bye
God
for
bless
now.
you.